speaking of hope, it is a brand new year, 2023. I don't know about you, Andrew, but I get very excited with the new year. I have all these new goals and hopes and dreams. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today with our wonderful guest in studio. Thank you for joining us, Tanya Unkovich.
Oh, it's always my pleasure, and to see you in person.
Tanya, this is a little bit of a setup, actually, because I was excited that you were going to be in the studio. What we didn't tell you is that we're filming today's conversation. So there's a little bit of an extra pressure. And you're thinking, gosh, just as well I didn't bike in.
Yes, just as well I didn't bike in or walk in my leotards or something like that.
Yeah, but
anyway.
no, you're looking fantastic. You dressed well for the filming, just
Thank
saying.
you. Well, it was a coincidence.
Now, at the beginning of the new year, we all have, I suppose, hopes and expectations about what the new year will bring. And sometimes, honestly, that leads to setting ourselves up for disappointment. How do we start as we mean to continue and hold on to hope for the new year, Tanya?
Well, you know, I always say live one day at a time. Sometimes when we set up those goals at the beginning of the year, the pressure of knowing you've got to do it for the whole year sometimes makes you just fall off the wagon early, doesn't it? And I always say, look, only start something that you know you want to continue, and you can continue without pressure and without being rigid with rules and things like that, because that sets you up for failure.
So how do we do this well then? So, you know, you've got a goal. I mean, do you have to be like really rigid with the goal and talk about, rigid is probably the wrong word, but, you know, like maybe set up bullet point 1, bullet point 2, bullet point 3 on that?
Well, I always say, what is the end goal? You know, you really do have to have clarity on that end goal, because if you don't know exactly what you're aiming for, you know, that bullseye, it's going to be like throwing spaghetti at the wall. But if you know exactly where you're going, then at least you can map a path and have milestones. And, you know, during those times when you feel a little bit, excuse me, oh God, it's too far, you've got to be excited about that goal. So make it something you're really passionate and excited about.
I do love the spaghetti against the wall metaphor. And honestly, you achieve your goals better if you throw the spaghetti at the wall and then draw the target afterwards.
Do you think?
Because you're always going to get a bullseye in that regard.
Win.
Tanya, I know that some people listening to this, they've already failed. They've made their New Year's resolutions and they've tanked out already. What do we do? How do we find, I suppose, grace for ourselves moving forward when perhaps we haven't done as well as we had hoped so far?
Well, I want to let everyone know that there is a day called International Quitters Day every year, because statistically everyone gives up around the third week of January. So the first thing to do is forgive yourself. This year was the 13th of January. So forgive yourself. If you feel that you've already failed, whatever that means for you, just let it go, because otherwise you're going to stay in that cycle of shame of, you know, yay, no. You don't want that. So be kind to yourself and take a bit of time to really think, what do I really, really want?
Let's talk about that. How do you, if someone's listening in right now and they're like, what do I really, really want? I mean, you know, is it health? Is it well-being? Is it a new job? I mean, how do you even find out what you really, really want? Because I think that can sometimes be a vexing question.
This is beginning to sound like a Spice Girls song, just saying.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Really want. It is good.
Yeah.
So you can draw a pie chart, okay, and then have physical, relationship, professional, spiritual, whatever areas you want to look at. How's my physical health looking at the moment out of 10? Score out of 10 all of those areas and go, oh, wow, 3 out of 10 for physical. That's not looking too good. What do I need to do to get up to number 10? And do that in all of those areas. And just pick one goal in all of those areas. Don't make it massive and unachievable, but something that at least you know, if you get started and progress a little bit every day, every week, you will eventually reach an outcome.
I really love that idea of segmenting it, I suppose, because, I mean, I'm guilty of saying, okay, because I'm focusing on academic study, my physical exercise has gone out the window. Or for some people, they may say, I'm really focusing on my career this year, so don't have time for the spiritual stuff as much. So important to have that balance in our life, right?
Absolutely, because all of those other areas of your life are still going to continue. So if you hop in the shower and all you do is wash your armpits only every day, it's going to happen to the rest of your body, right? So it's a bit like that. So our life is like that. But the thing is, they don't need to be perfect. All of those segments don't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
Just progress a little bit at a time. You know, that 2 millimeters you'll eventually get.
Would you say then, is it good to set goals that are big and audacious and maybe just one area, and then the other one maybe just smaller goals, so that you can perhaps, reach that audacious goal, but also, look, I am getting my steps in per day. I'm looking after myself in this way.
That's Diane's New Year's resolution.
The steps.
Yeah.
You said
yeah.
that yesterday on the show, didn't
I
you?
did.
You talked about that
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Well, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I've got a great big goal for this year, but I've also got little ones. The thing is, though, I've changed things. I don't make myself need this perfect journey. You know,
Sure.
it's you are going to have setbacks on those big audacious goals. You are going to have setbacks some days on your steps. Doesn't matter. Get up the next day and start again. That's the definition of courage.
Yeah.
Having the willingness and the ability to just put yesterday behind you, learn the lesson, and get up and do it again.
Is there a problem, I suppose, with our goals either being too big or too small? Either, okay, they're so ridiculous that we're never going to achieve them. We are literally setting ourselves up for failure. Or perhaps it's like, well, no, that is low-hanging fruit. You're not even stretching for that one. That is, I suppose it depends what stage we're at, depends what state of mind we're in at the beginning of the year, perhaps?
Good question. I have clients who come to me who do have a lot of things to achieve. You know, I don't want to say it. They do have a lot of pounds to lose, put it that way.
Yep.
And they get overwhelmed at that. But, you know, someone who I started working with 2 years ago says, I've lost 70 pounds.
Wow.
Okay, so over 2 years, that's not really fast, but she's done it. Time flies like that.
It does, right?
Just start. And even if you lose a half a pound a week, that is going to be a lot by the end of the year. Take the pressure off yourself. Meanwhile, all those other little goals that you think aren't stretching you, achieve them. Achieve those little ankle biters, because they're going to give you the courage to look at that big goal and go, I've got you too.
I love it, Tanya, and I love the idea of, hey, set some of those smaller goals so you can feel like, actually, I'm doing okay. Because if it is just that one big, huge goal, it might just take a little bit longer than we'd like.
Yeah.
Hey, Tanya, thank you for being in the studio. This is a blast.
Yeah,
We should
loving
definitely
this.
do this again.
Yeah. I'll
Let-
dress
let-
up next time.
Let's hope we press the record button so this actually has been filmed, just saying.
Okay.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And hey, if people wanted to find out more about the work that you do and get some of that online encouragement to encourage them in the goals, you've got a fantastic series of resources online. People can check that out.
Yeah, TanyaUnkovich.com, or just go to my YouTube channel. All over social media. I'm everywhere. So my goal is to encourage you. So there you go.
There you go.